Listeners be advised. The Heauxvember podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self-harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised, a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not in. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
You just wanted to fuck it up, didn't you? You just wanted to fuck it up.
We're live. I didn't do it. Edit it out.
I could fight you now.
You can
actually fight. You can actually fight. You can actually
go.
You guys, we're recording.
Anyways.
Sorry, guys.
I can't be here with Adrian. I need to go ahead and drive back.
The way gas is, baby.
I'm staying here. Yeah, you got increased by 20 cents in the Augusta, girl. Like,
if I was like, hello, it's your favorite host, Adrian. Just kidding.
Look, that's a good way. Anyways, here we are. Professionalism is dead. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Heauxvember podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slater Jackson, and for you freaking motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. On today's episode, I am live and here in Adrian's dining room, and it's time for me to go because she's touched me. We shared boob squeezes, and here we are.
We were checking each other for lumps. That is a responsible thing to do.
That's what friends should do for each other. Exactly. Want to check again, make sure.
It's so big. Check my big.
Okay, let's.
I got
look. Okay.
It's so warm.
Look, it's the underboob. You know, the underboob is a heater of its own. You know, if you ever are trapped in a like snowstorm and you need some heat, put your hands up under the breast, okay? Because the underboob is going to be.
Yeah, we fucked up being live because Vernon might be a daddy for this recording now.
Oh my!
Come on, pussy pink. And my booty hole brown. Yeah, I said it.
Now we're going to hotel.
Tugging with my rounds, baby.
I quit. The episode hasn't even started.
Where's he left? He gone.
He said, y'all motherfuckers are motherfuckering hard today. Okay, so who we have today? Of course, we have Adrian, we have Sharita, we have Tyrell, and we have Ortiz. Since it is Heauxvember, and this is, I believe, the second episode of the month, let's go with that. If it's not, I'm sorry, y'all. It is what it is. Yes, second episode. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about love languages and sex types. But before we go into that, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. And I'll start off with Tyrell, Sharita, Ortiz, and then, of course, Adrian as.
All right. Hello to everybody that's listening. I am Tyrell Collins. Y'all know me already. Hopefully y'all do, or if not, then I don't know what y'all been listening to. So, you know.
Shade.
But yeah, I'm definitely always glad to be back and among wonderful colleagues.
Excellent, Sharita.
Hi, I'm Sharita. I've been in a couple of episodes, so you guys should know me, but I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, also with a certification for sex therapy. I'm glad to be back.
And Ortiz.
Hey, what's good? My name is Ortiz, and I've been on a few episodes, and I'm here just to chill and relax and support.
The code word is, bitch, I'm just gonna be here. I'm here.
No, it ain't like that.
Ortiz, it
I
was
have no-
giving bitch. I'm only here for snacks.
No, I
And
didn't have no time to think of a good intro.
You were the third person. How could you?
I'm sorry.
Stop it. You are not in therapy mode. You don't have to give a time.
it's paid for this.
She came with his whole life. We love Charlie. The Angels. Sharita finna get booted up out of here.
Oh yeah, we have to set up that picture. We gotta set up that picture. It's what that's something different. Anyways, Adrian, who the fuck are you?
Well, you already know it's Vernon's uneducated friend, Adrian. Those of you who have been in the Holistically family for at least season 1, possibly 2, y'all know it's like, see, you know what it is. I'm on my bullshit as per usual, but I'm gonna drop a little knowledge every now and then. I love the people that are here because they are lit. Tyrell, that's my boo. Sharita, you already know what you is. And Fortis, I love you. And of course, Vernon might be the father of my children, the way these ovaries set up.
Oh God. And also special shout out to Warren over there because this meal that he made, the stir fry was delicious.
That's my roommate.
More so what's good. What a beautiful, extraordinary, talented, lovely one right here.
Yes, we love it.
Take it to me, Warren. Ooh.
And hopefully Warren will be on the podcast for season 3.
Sure we will.
Ooh.
Okay.
Easter egg.
As I mentioned earlier, today we will be talking about love languages and sex types. So I hope everybody, I know Adrian didn't do one of them. I hope everybody.
You're a shady bitch. You're a shady doctor bitch. Suck my ass, Dr. Scott.
Well, we can do that later. Wait somewhere. Okay, I cannot. Love languages. We'll start off with that first. And who wants to start off the conversation about their results? I'll just go last in this one.
So I've done this. Oh, sorry. This is Shrita. I can go first. I've done this quiz a million times, but it varies slightly. Like my first one is always my first one, which is words of affirmation. So I want you to tell me that I'm beautiful and like I'm a good girl, But the second one varies. Sometimes it's quality time, and other times it's gifts. So it really just kind of depends.
Yeah, definitely for me, because of the fact I'm also a writer as well, words just, kind of are my forte. So I like to express myself through words. And so I think that's how I like to receive love as well. So definitely words of affirmation is always up there for me. And usually like acts of service is usually up there for me as well. And quality time and physical touch, are definitely pertinent. And my absolute horrible love language is actually gifts. I know it's not about the monetary aspect of it. I know that it's all about the thought, but I really don't like giving gifts, and I don't really like receiving gifts either. So if I do, give gifts, it's more like obviously sentimental, but it's like it takes me time though. I really have to think about the nature of gift giving. So yeah.
I'm the same on that one. Oh, sorry. Who before I can jump in this, who else want to go? Ortiz?
So the top one for me was actually acts of services, and the second one was, I think, words of affirmations. Now the lowest one for me was actually I think touch for me. I'm not very affectionate, so I gotta do better with that in that department.
Excuse me. So mine, because I'm a needy bitch, my top one is quality time. I don't give a fuck what you tell me, how many gifts you give me. If you ain't spending time with me, you don't love me, motherfucker. And then right behind that is words of affirmation. Because I mean, sometimes I don't be feeling myself. And if you feel me, tell me. Like, I need to know. But just like Tyrell, my last like 3% was gifts. Like, I do not give gifts. I'm actually an excellent gift giver because I pay attention to like the person I'm giving a gift to. And I won't give you a gift until I know you well enough to give you a gift. So I'm really good at gift giving, but growing up in an affluent household, I'm not very materialistic because I had everything. So I like things that money can't buy. So you write me a poem, you do a dance for me, sing my favorite song, cook me a meal. I like shit like that. You can't buy that shit. So that's just how it's accurate is what I'm getting towards. Oh, and my third highest is physical touch because you all know little baby like to get them nuts off.
Oh my.
I don't like the gift slander. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't really like giving gifts, but I love receiving gifts because.
So you a gift princess?
Also, I was the baby of the family, and I always got gifts.
It's the brat.
So, baby deserves.
She is a brat, and I'm a brat tamer.
Okay, baby deserves gifts.
And baby gonna get them if she act right.
Oh my. Anyway,
we might not can be on no more episodes together. I'm sorry, children, politically babies. Auntie is in her bag today. Because what y'all can't see is Sharita came on this podcast late, but with the titties and the wrists.
Let's talk about these titties.
In one of my favorite songs.
The girls are girling like any girl ever girl. Because, oh my God.
They sitting up and they ready.
My bisexuality stepped out real quick on that one. I was like, ooh.
Her whole voice done dropped like 2 octaves. Why am I wet?
I quit.
Why am I wet? Sorry, I'm sorry. Tyrell was like, y'all are disgusting. I am not a part of it. I feel like Ortiz making the same face, but we don't know.
No, Ortiz got that real deep voice. Like,
ooh, Ortiz do got a deep voice. Nobody talk. We just gonna
I like a good deep voice.
Wait, what?
I like a high voice.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Like mine?
Yeah. Yeah, just like yours.
No, let me go ahead and talk about mine. So I got my highest one was quality time, which I was definitely not surprised about because I do like to spend time with my peoples, my family, my loved ones, my lover. I love just to,
But that's interesting too, because you also like your time alone.
I do.
You will shut everybody down. Do not disturb. So I was really surprised.
That's part of self-love. And I express my self-love with the quality time I spend with myself.
Right.
So it kind of levels out that way in a sense, but it's I enjoy being in the presence of my whoever I am, showing affection towards. I love that they're with me, they're connecting with me, and we're spending some time together, be it watching a TV show or just reading a book together, or even if we're at separate locations and with the ideal of reading a book. They can send me text messages about, oh, this is where I'm at in the story, and this is where I'm going to be. How's your experience? Blah 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 blah. I love that kind of shit. And the second one is acts of service. I enjoy doing things for other people, and I also enjoy when those things are done for me. If it's taking some stress away from me, oh my God, yes, continue to do that. I love cooking for people, which means I will be cooking for you too, Warren. I'm sorry. But I will definitely be making a nice meal for you. Just let me know exactly what you want because I'm a good chef. This is pure vegetable because I ran out of noodles. That's it, baby. It's don't got me dying. Because he got the original one that had the peanuts, and he got the one that's just vegetable mix. And if I had noodles, I would put that up in here. But it's all the vegetables, the potatoes, the seasonings, all that good stuff. It's a good little meal. Good health. Good for your body, your sex appeal. Good for you. It make me not want to eat like that. It make me not want to eat like that. It really make me feel healthy mentally, physically. You just feel good. It's sexy. You're welcome, baby. You're welcome, beautiful. Thank you. We love you. I love you too, baby. Let me know if you like it too. And what you need. If you need more seasoning, what's on? Let me know. Oh, she likes it, y'all. She likes it, so we're good.
Enjoy that stuff like potatoes. Those are rich potatoes.
What's your love language?
Oh, so much. Like, you like too much or say much. It's the look in your eye.
Better put something else out here.
It's the look in your eye, baby. I know you want to go crazy.
Oh my God.
So it's a part of the way to do
Oh man, where it's at. Get in where you fit in.
Oh, Lordy. All right.
No.
So, outside of love languages, that we also did the sex types. So, for anybody who's unfamiliar with sex types, those come from, if you've ever seen the Netflix show Sex, Love, and Goop, definitely recommend watching it. It's a very interesting show. Most definitely if you're trying to learn a little bit more about sexuality, learn a little bit more about yourself. There is a free version of the quiz, so definitely if you want to take the time, do it. And this test to see if a person is like, if they express their sexuality more on the kinky side, if they're more sexual, more physical, if they're more sensual, as well as they're more of an energetic person. And then they have a fifth one, which is called shapeshifter. And we'll go into that a little bit later on. So, whoever, I don't know, let's start with you again, Sharita. What was your results for the sex type quiz? Or did you not take it?
I didn't take it. Yeah, so y'all could go and then I'm gonna try to take it. What y'all talk?
Fucking you and Adrian.
Will you stop putting my business out? God damn.
You're supposed to be taking yours now.
Shut up.
Okay, before we even go into this, am I the only person that took this one?
I took it some time ago.
Okay.
And,
Thank you. At least somebody else is not me.
She just had.
Not she just
This nigga want to do homework when it's due. That's fine.
What can I say? I'm in education, so I try to do my homework on time.
And we thank you for your service, King.
So Tyrell,
Is this the exotic blueprint?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go ahead and.
Tyrell, so what was your results?
So my results, well, just to preface, the erotic blueprint was, I believe it was a quiz that was created by one of the sex and relationship educators of the show. I think her name is Jaya? I can't, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. But yeah, so for my results, I actually got more of a shapeshifter, which is actually not surprising. Just because I like to describe myself as a very sensual person. I love sensuality, but I do also have a few kinks that are there. I definitely do I feed off of energy as well, so energetic connected with me very well. And then just having that visual stimulation that sexual that one of the other blueprints was. And just the nature of how do you gain arousal and move into orgasm. So, so definitely, I think for my results, I was definitely much of a shapeshifter.
So I actually, when I did mine, I scored highest on shapeshifter. So I'm similar to you. I like to do multiple things. I don't know if it's experimental in me or what, but I like to dabble in a multitude of different things when it comes to how I express myself sexually. Sometimes I want to be colorful on. Sometimes I want to just do the hardcore we're fucking out here. Sometimes I just want to, just be present and just have intimate moments with whoever I'm with. And I think a lot of that goes back to my quality time things and just building an intimacy with whoever my partner is, because it's I just want you to be here. I want you to be present. I want to just dive deeper into you a little bit without having to be physical with that. So, because I did both versions of it. I did the basic one, and then because that's where I got the shapeshifters. But when I expanded my results, the energetic was the one that was the highest. I didn't really think would be the highest, because I really thought I was going to score high on sensual, and sensual and sexual likes tied together, and the kinky was a bit higher than that. But like the energetic was just like all the way up there. That literally was like at 24% compared to everything else. Right. Yeah, I really did think that sensual would have been the thing, because I enjoy sensual play. I love playing with the senses. I love playing with the light touches and like going between hard and rough, and just experiencing not that kind of hard and rough. I'm talking about in terms of touch, like impact play versus feather play kind of situation. So I can't do Adrian. But yeah, that's like the things like that really motivates me to enjoy the sex a lot more. Oh look, Sharita finished. What's up? Actually,
so yeah, I took it ahead of time. I forgot that I had it. I didn't just take it a second ago. But anyway,
you the back of the class,
right? Oh, what's the answer to number 5?
Adrian's procrastinating at me. Okay. But anyway, mine said sensual as well, which also makes a lot of sense for me. I like just physically being there with somebody. I like quality time. I like just being in that moment. Like, I like to include like mindfulness stuff and like deep breathing. Like, I love like tantric sex, like stuff like that. It's kind of my favorite. It makes me feel connected.
Yes, I like that. I need to learn a lot more about tantric sex, to be honest. Ortiz, how about you? Did you take the quiz or not?
I did take it. I just took the basic quiz twice, but both times I ended up scoring as kinky.
Oh, ooh, Ortiz.
I'm not shocked though.
I am. What?
Let's go into that. Why is that?
Yeah, Ortiz, tell us.
So, I have a very interesting nature to me. How can I describe myself? I don't know. I sometimes have a contradictory nature, but I like things that are intense, and I like to explore things on a deep level. So for me, when it comes to exploring sex, I want to be on a level where there's actually no well, of course, boundaries are met, but also where there's mutual understanding to where we can explore things on a deeper level in a way. So that's how I can best describe my nature as being kinky, and also other stuff as well too.
See, from one of our episodes back in the day, when you just was talking about like your relationship with kinks in general, like that's the reason why I'm really not shocked, because like I know that you enjoy some things that other people might even dare to dabble in, but you like to push that edge a lot. You like to find a new way to engage in sex and enjoy the sex while you're having it. So I'm like, it's not a surprise at all for me that you ended up in the kinky circle in that one for your sex type.
Yeah.
So, Adrian, do we finally have your results?
We do, baby.
Who's the baby's dad?
Me. Because I am the sexual type, baby. I love sex. I love feeling you. Sex with me is always amazing, intense, memorable. Ain't that right, Sharita? No, well, when I got my results, right, it was like, the part that resonated with me was like, when under-resourced, you may feel frustrated or even bored by a partner's desire for long sessions of foreplay or wanting to try things that seem complex. That's true. Like, if I'm wet and you're wet, let's put it together. Like, I don't want to do a goddamn Dawson's Creek montage where I'm just feeling all on your body and shit. Like, I'm feeling on you to make that pussy go. And then we finna get to it. Okay? Get to it. But also, I learned that, like, if I'm not having sex, I will get fucking depressed. Like, I just be sad as fuck. Like, the sun don't shine like it should. Food don't taste right. Like, I just be sad. The only thing that can affect my mood that heavily is my lack of sex or lack of money. If Draco don't have one or the other, I'm a sad boy.
I know how to make you happy.
Yeah, you do.
Stop it, Sharita. I was about to the girls again, because look, some people were getting happy
No, cause what y'all don't know is me and Sharita have linked up since then. Not on no sexy stuff, but she came and had drinks with me and my friends, and I was like buzzed, and she bought me a drink. She was touching all on my face and shit.
That was fun.
Sharita know what the fuck in this box.
Ooh. Okay. And go away. That should never go away. So one of the things I've been thinking about after, because I was like working on mine today. Y'all don't judge me. I still did it before the fucking show. Anyways, when I was working on the love language side of the quizzes, I was thinking about what if there was like a game or something associated with this. So y'all be on the lookout. I might make a game of it. Something fun for couples to have like in-depth conversations using some of the love language questions and going beyond those and make it a little bit more probing, because we love to get probed in multiple ways.
So without you plugging something.
Low key. Well, it is Heauxvember. So Heauxvember is you're getting all the plugs. I hope you're plugging something too. If you're out there, celebrate someone. Plug a badge, plug a hole.
Plug a booty hole.
So, a question that someone submitted for the conversation is how to approach conversations of eroticisms with your partner. And Sharita, as being the most expert in this area, what would you suggest?
I think it really depends on the relationship that you have with your partner and how open you and your partner are about sex. I mean, there's people who are in relationships and like their partner doesn't even like to talk about sex. They have a bad experience. You know, I've worked with couples who they're from the church. They've been told sex is bad, and then they get married, and now they're like supposed to be having sex, but they don't know how to like engage in that. That's going to be way different than like a partner who's like, I'm part of the lifestyle, I'm poly. The way I talk about sex is just going to be different in that capacity. But getting a feel for your partner and just like learning about, I would start about talking about intimacy before even talking about sex. What does physical intimacy look like to you? It doesn't mean, we don't have to start going straight into penis, vagina, or any other types of sex. We could just talk about what is kissing, like when does it feel appropriate for you to kiss, like holding hands, and kind of go from there. That would be, from my experience, that's the best way to kind of approach sex, depending on how your partner's relationship is.
Love it. I know my recommendation in having those kind of conversations is make sure that you're like, try to have those conversations outside of the bedroom, of course, but in situations where it's not sexy, and allow that to fuel what the next sexual experience will be. Like, hey, if I were to touch you this way, how would you react to that? How do you feel about if I were to go down on you and only go down on you without any reciprocation? Do you feel like you want to reciprocate, or do you feel like that will be satisfying for you? When I do go down on you, do you enjoy it or you don't enjoy it? Like, what can I do to improve? Like, not to make it seem very clinical, but actually ask questions in a conversational way with your partner in order for everybody to understand what's going on, and make sex conversations normal within your relationship, because the more that it seems taboo, the less like you want to talk about it. So if you just open up with like, hey, we had sex last night, not even in the bedroom or anything like that, hey, we had sex last night. Okay, so how was that? Like, and keep it going. And also, you can purchase the game down.
There is there's a lot of games out there though that do talk about those things that make it easier. Like I know I've been to a couple of lifestyle parties and they'll have these like little games that talk about that. I gotta find the name of it.
Well, while you're searching, anybody have any suggestions for, like, let's say you had a partner currently, and you wanted to you felt, how do I phrase this? How would you like your partner to approach you to talk about eroticism or talk about sex and what you like to enjoy in the bedroom? Like, how would you like to be approached?
Me personally, just run it up. Like, I guess for lack of a better example, with my ex, like whenever we got a lot of shit wrong, but the one thing we never got wrong was sex. Like, never had bad sex with that girl for the whole 3.5 years we was together. It was so good that, like, every time we had sex, it just got better and better and better. Like, you think you would hit a plateau, but we never did. Every individual time was wild. And so we used to do this thing where, like, you know, after having great sex, I'd be like, hey, babe. She'd like, what? I'd be like, we had sex yesterday. And she'd be like, oh my God, yeah, we did. I was like, it was good, wasn't it? She'd be like, yeah, it was good. And then talking about it usually led us to having sex again. So, like, there was one time though where she wanted to try a different kind of sex, more so like basically flip the roles. So instead of me being the masculine or the dom or the, you know, facilitator of the love, she wanted to be daddy. And for me, at that point, we were dating, I think, almost 1.5 years. And so for me to be, I'm technically versed, but for me to bottom, for lack of a better word, because lesbians don't have a category for this shit. For me to do that, I have to feel safe with you. I have to trust you. I have to feel secure. I have to know that you got me. You know, ain't nothing gonna happen. Like, if I say no, you're gonna stop. Like, blah, blah, blah. So we had built that trust. And she did me down proper, boy. I was just like, oh my God. So then it became like, whenever we would have sex, it just really happened. Like, she might be the aggressor, or I might be the aggressor, or we might flip flop, or she might, you know, one day she might just only want to give, and then one day I might only want to receive. Like, we were very compatible sexually. Now, what should you learn from this, babies? Sex is not everything, because we was shit in every other area. But in the bed, we had that, which is why after we broke up, we kept fucking. But then it became just too messy. So, bye, bitch.
Oh my. Well, I guess that's what the new period is. We just don't say period anymore. We just say bye, bitch. Okay, and that's on bye, bitch.
That's bye, bitch.
What about you, Tyrell?
Yeah, I think for me, just dealing with, you know, past partners, I think for me, like I say, I tackle everything about education. So people being sexually, when people think that they're sexually compatible, they usually think that it means that you're both going to like the same things. Mm-hmm. And that's not true. You know, so sex, you know, expressing yourself in an intimate way, it is about education. So I want you to, I love to learn. I love to teach, you know, like I say, education. So it's like, if something, you know, that I'm not familiar with turns you on, I want you to come to me, talk to me about it. And so I think that a lot of times we have to open up, you know, safe spaces for, you know, like a romantic partner or sex partner to actually do that. And I don't think that you should have those conversations while you're actually in the act of doing something, or, you know, just kind of being together at the moment, because then that's when like a lot of insecurities come about and things like that. So always have those conversations, like in a safe and intimate space, but in a space where you're not actually being physical with each other at this moment. So it opens up that room for, you know, healthy communication. Like, yeah, I want you to tell me the things that, you know, turn you on. I want to tell you the things that turn me on, and knowing that we can do that, you know, in a sexy and fun way. And just to know, like, I'm so glad, Sharita, that you brought up earlier that there's a lot of people who just have this kind of, you know, just archaic mindset, you know, when it comes to sex. Sex should be fun. You know, I was at a party last weekend for a birthday celebration, and as we were doing one of the game, like the sexy games, like the card game, I can't remember what it was called, but you know, one of the cards for one of the couples that was there dared one of them like to give each other like a lap dance. And so, you know, it was kind of like, yeah, they're kind of shy, but hey, they did it because like we love to see them as a couple. We think that they're sexy. The fact that they think each other are sexy, like that's you know, those are turn on. Mm-hmm. And so you shouldn't shy, you know, away from that. And of course, that's always a process. but the sex is like the, I think it was also connotated that sex is like the adult playground. You know, so don't be afraid to, you know, try different things with your partner, of course, you know, consensually. But, you know, so I think that's just basically for me, like, tell me, you know, just come right out and tell me, like, educate me, you know, on what it is that you want, why it is that you like this, and, you know, so on and so forth. So.
Another thing that I've done with partners relatively recently is I would do the kink quiz with them. Like, we would do it together and kind of see where they fall on those different things and just ask kind of open-ended questions about it. So that's always been really helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't done it this year, but I usually take the kink, the BDSM test like yearly. I guess in my depression. Whatever, we're not going back into that. Sure, you know the tea on that. But yeah, within all of that, I've just been not even thinking about like myself in a relationship at the moment, or myself in like sexual and like other than like the hit it and quit it kind of situation. I haven't even really been focusing on that, so I haven't even thought about introducing that conversation with any other person and like going into like, hey, what is your kinks? What are the things that you like? And even just to reflect on myself, I probably should do it for myself, since I don't know which episode it was of this month, and everybody kept calling me a brat or whatever. And I'm like, I don't see it. So I might need to retake it just to see if I've improved on that brat level, which I'm 100% sure I did not. But it is what it is.
Embrace the brat. I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's not. I agree. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a brat. It's just not me.
I'm a brat tamer. I smack that brat ass. We ain't doing all that.
Okay, Zach.
That's right.
I'm gonna call in. 6. Since I just want to get my call in.
Well, it's not necessary you can call in, but if you want to join the conversation,
I'm sure we definitely do. How do it work?
Oh no, everybody's just on Zoom.
Oh, damn. We gotta go read down. Gotta have it installed it.
You are literally in the room.
Oh yeah, it's not the top.
It's my roommate Warren, you guys.
Yeah,
Let
y'all.
me see him.
It's Warren. Warren's so fun. Lord, I'm serious.
Oh, he has locks.
I told you I like rocks.
Oh, I love. Oh, okay now.
I'm finna be a baby
I like
mama.
What's his kinks?
Yeah, no, we're not loving for us.
Yeah, that's so deep what you're saying. I can relate to what you're saying so much, because we go through levels of the emotions and feelings physically for various reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Our financial status has a big part to do with it. So a lot of depending on our sleep, the projects we in between, the energy we're around. Hey, a lot of times we masturbate so much that affects our mind. You know, it's not good to masturbate too much anyway.
He's right.
It's against your health. It kills your spirit. It kills that fight that you need out here in these streets. Like, you can have a hard time fighting somebody because you just release yourself 4 or 5 times. You ain't got that inner strength like you need to protect yourself. So you just have to balance that stuff. But when we young or when we go through different areas, we don't give an F sometimes, and we fall into different levels. So it's really deep. But like, I'm going through something right now where I don't want to have sex with barely nobody, like real hardcore sex. Like, I'm a freak. I'm so well-rounded. I'm very freaky. I'm very kinky. It ain't one thing with me. I'm telling you, it's deep with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, man, it don't take much for me to be good, but I don't want no hardcore right now. And if I get hardcore right now, which is like a 25% part of me that want to go hard. Mm-hmm. I want to fucking swing on something. I want to have some riding on me. good. I want to be riding something good. You know what I'm saying? I want my motherfucking hands behind somebody's neck and hair, smelling their hair, feeling their scalp with my fingernails. You know, got their mouth on my nipples. I'm riding them good. So definitely, I'm gonna be wild, but you gotta have a certain age.
Look, Warren said, I'm over here trying to fuck it. I'm not getting the fuck that
I'm not getting that. But you gotta have that energy, that good energy, because you're gonna make me angry if you plan. That type of shit. So you gotta have that spirit behind you, and we gonna go hard. If you ain't got that spirit, we ain't even gonna do it anymore. You might as well just play with my nipple a little bit. I'll put them 30 feet on my dick.
30 feet. Ew, I hate feet. I can't. That's not my portion. Dude, you the best.
Praise.
I should know he was a freak. You gave me the biggest kiss on my cheek.
Oh,
and be nicer type. I was like, oh my god.
So now
This is affection.
people who have a foot fetish and a foot kink. Okay.
Foot king. The doctor, foot doctor.
And Adrian's against feet. Good to know.
Oh my God. That is an assault on me.
I'm good on
you. Hear the Law and Order team break your toes out. I'm trying to put.
Oh,
They got me fucked up, girl.
I didn't have a story. I didn't have a situation that happened. Wow.
And I'm the opposite.
You like feet too?
Yeah, I actually have a foot kink. So yeah.
Wow, yeah, no.
I gotta be the weirdo.
I'm not a fan of feet.
Yay! That's right. That's why you daddy's girl.
I'm not telling niggas about sex. What the fuck?
But hold on, let's have a.
I'm okay with people sucking my toes. I'm not okay with sucking
I'm cool with
anyone
that too.
else's.
Nope, none of it.
But that's not even me. I'm not into a person so much doing mine. Like, if I'm into you, I would love for you to suck it good, you know, and please me because you're really into it. But if it's not like that, I don't care for it. I'm just a foot, like, top. I'm the one who just love to be.
I'm foot top.
Yeah, I'm a foot top.
Exactly, but you know, of course, there's always a caveat because you know, obviously, we know like kink is on the spectrum of things. So you know, you can be like one thing, but not like the other. So like, I know for me, I love to like massage, suck, those kind of things, but it's like obviously feet have to be clean first and foremost, but two, like my spectrum is not going into like foot humiliation or like stomping on feet or anything like that. So you know, for other people, but for other people, like that's arousal, and of course it's totally fine.
They make fun of
sure.
I like that.
No, it's level to foot fetish.
Oh yeah, people have a lot of different fetishes. Like I was on FetLife and this guy wanted me to step on his balls. Like that was his whole that was his
He don't want no kids.
What was it asked about? What's the difference between kink and fetishes?
I'll be careful with some of those fetishes too. If
What was that term?
Oh, I thought somebody had asked what was the difference between kink and fetish.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is levels to all of that. It's deep. That's deep.
Oh yeah.
Now that you brought it up, what is the difference, Professor?
Oh, well, basically, like, kink and fetish is like how you would think of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Like we have needs and we have wants. Mm-hmm. So kink is something that, you want to have done to be aroused. And a fetish is something you need to engage in to be aroused.
Yeah, my fetish, I need to have it. Yeah, I gotta have it. If I don't have it, then you gotta be out the door.
I never knew that there was a difference. I thought it was the same thing, just like different words for the same thing. So thank you, Professor.
There's
so basic difference is like kink is a want, fetish is like a need.
Yeah.
So do I have a pussy fetish? Because I need that.
Go away.
But I want your kink, pussy fetish. Got it.
I cannot. All right, so we're going to come back into the actual episode at this point.
Yeah, I feel like we went on a tangent.
A huge tangent. Fortis, you good over there?
Charlie,
I'm good.
Fortis is like, I'm nervous.
I'm telling you, Fortis is leaving us. He is too good for us.
It ain't like that.
Just like me.
Is he really?
No, not really.
I'm gonna say, because you a big hoe. And you a Megan hoe. Big old booty. Big booty, big old cheek.
I swear, all night ain't gonna say shit. Next morning, I'm
Okay, so to get back into this combo, because we mentioned, the BDSM test, and I even mentioned how I take it yearly. I think, it is important within relationships to acknowledge that these kind of conversations are something that is ongoing, meaning because you're a different person at any stage of your life. Sometimes what you found sexy on day 11 of the year, you don't find sexy at day 364. So like having those conversations as you age, as you progress throughout life, helps you with one, communicating with your partner about your needs and your wants, as well as helps you identify what it is that you appreciate and love about your partner, as well as yourself in the process of, y'all's relationship. So what is y'all's take on having those ongoing conversations with your love languages as well as your sex types?
Well, for me, sorry, my cat.
That's a black person.
Yeah, so for me, I'm a processor. Well, I'm a therapist, so I guess that makes sense. I'm always continuously having these conversations, like not only like every couple years, but anytime like trauma happens or anytime like my partner is going through something, it's important to have that. How can I help you? How can I assist you? Because maybe when we first started, you loved physical touch, but something happened to you recently where you're dealing with grief or depression, and physical touch is no longer something that satisfies you anymore. So then how do we move forward? What does that look like? What do you need from me? So that's, it's a continuous conversation for me.
Yeah, it's very deep for me too. It's a continuous conversation for me too. So many levels to it.
I would say I agree, to piggyback off what Sharita's saying. That and what Vernon said, that these conversations, you need to keep having them, because like you guys said, we're not the same people from one moment to the next. And Sharita also like brought up the trauma aspect. Trauma really fucking changes you. It doesn't even have to be sexual trauma. Like I got bit by a dog and I almost lost my leg, and I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating, and my sex drive was zero because I'm trying to fucking deal with what just happened. And then, other things like losing a job, losing a parent, or losing an animal, like that shit cuts deep, and it definitely shakes you to your core. And you basically, while you're picking up the pieces, you want to be who you were before the trauma, but because of the trauma, that's not who you are anymore. Not to say that you have to camp and live in the trauma. You can get through it, and you will find some semblance of normalcy, but it's a big part of forming who you are and who you become as a person. So I love to, like, even if it's, I don't really do it for like flings, but like long-term relationships or, stable situationships, we're going to have that conversation. Like, hey, it was fucking, it was good for you, still feeling it. You want to try some shit, like what you want, what you need, what you want to do. I'm all about continuous improvement in my personal life, just as a human being. I want to be the best Adrian every day I get up. So of course, in my sexual life, I'm going to apply that same pressure. So definitely an ongoing conversation. And again, if you're just humping somebody just to feel good, I mean, if you care, you can have those conversations. But if it's a fling, one and done, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, I don't give a fuck about your fucking languages. Like, we either come or we don't. But if I care about you, or I'm into you, or we're going to be doing this multiple times, yes, I want every experience to be the best experience. And it comes with addressing those things. But just like Tyrell said, if you want to have those conversations, do not wait till you balls deep. That's weird. Like, get the sex over with. Everybody come, and then we talk about it, right? Because don't nobody want insecure sex. Don't nobody want to be second guessing shit. Don't nobody want to be like, is it good for you? Like, no. You gotta pop out and do your best, and then we can address it.
And also, like, for me, I love the like consensual consent while I'm having sex, like just different, like, I'm about to flip you in this position. Is that okay with you? Or like, I like that kind of back and forth.
Checking in.
So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I echo with everything that's been said. And, continued conversations, of course, are always important. And I also think, in order to feel confident enough to have those kind of conversations, you have to really get in tune with yourself, about the things that you like and that give you pleasure. So, I believe it's Warren, right?
Yes.
So Warren, I definitely agree with you. Like, you know, self pleasure is great because like I indulge in self pleasure like a lot of times, but it is to say like because of the fact I don't have like, you know, casual like kind of romantic partners at the moment. So it's one of those things. By engaging in self pleasure, you can learn a lot about yourself. And so as long as you're doing that in a healthy space, so it's like now I'm in a space right now where it's like I actually like to please a little bit more. Like, I don't know what's come over me like a little bit lately, but it's like, even when I'm not engaged with somebody, like, I just have these, I just like have these thoughts and these feelings about like what I want to do sexually, like to somebody, you know, like somebody in a situation, like not necessarily thinking about my pleasure of receiving, but just of giving. And so that may be a time for right now. It may pass or, you know, anything like that, but definitely learning yourself and know every cell in your body is hardwired for pleasure.
Yeah, y'all know
so
that.
The body is gonna shake, it's gonna jerk, it's gonna twitch. So you know, do some homework.
Everything.
Do some homework with yourself. And for anybody that, you know, used to watch Zane Sex Chronicles, shout out to you. I just want to quote something that, you know, Zane used to say: the mind is the ultimate sex toy. So you better start thinking.
And is
it is also the biggest sex organ.
What?
The mind.
Oh, yeah, the brain is. You can literally fantasize and think you somewhere else, and it come true. Like your mind makes everything come true. So you gotta be careful of that brain. That really is the most important brain. That person you think about in your mind, sexually, mentally, physically, they come to fruition in real life. For real. I've been through that all my life. Thought about somebody that I didn't know. They came to my spirit and they appeared. And I'm like, damn, you're the person I seen in my head. Like, it's really real. Or like one of your neighbors, you like them, you don't really know them, and you notice they keep looking at you, you know, okay, that's going to be my person. That's going to be the person I'm going to get with. Not knowing their sexuality, nothing. And guess what? 2 months later, y'all in your house, but releasing yourself, you know, that person. So yeah, it's amazing. Our brain is so important. Be careful what you think, because you create what you think, really. Yeah. So take care of your brain.
What you got to say?
What was the question?
I like that. Okay.
So, what was the question? Well, it's mostly about engaging in that ongoing conversation about your love languages and sex types throughout the years.
Okay, thank you. My bad. So everybody had a valid point. I really can't say anything more to the conversation, but I will say this. There has to be a high level of introspection for that person. They got to take accountability for how they project their energy onto other people. What I mean by that is you can't expect to have dreams whenever you sit here and have these insecurities that will dictate a different part of something else that you may not like. So if I would be honest, I think honesty with oneself would be the best way to evaluate your relationship with another person. And before anything, you don't need to be in a relationship if you know you have a lot of insecurities and a lot of things that needs to be addressed from within. Then also transparency. Just be transparent with yourself and with a partner, even if it's just a hookup session or something like that. Just be transparent and learn how to respect people's boundaries. That's just the ultimate thing I would think that comes to mind when it comes to a conversation like this.
Well put.
I agree. So, well, this is unrelated towards having conversations with your partner, but this is more of like the sciencey side of things when it comes to test, retest, validity, and reliability, and all that other great things. So this probably whoever will, whatever. So essentially, the statement is: do you feel as though that the love language quiz as well as the sex type quiz are valid quizzes to test who you are on a personal level, your personality, and all those other things? Because there's plenty of little quizzes out there that you can take, be it, which Hogwarts house are you, and all those other things, and they don't really tell you anything that the sorting hat will place you in, because, come on, it's fucking Harry Potter. But do y'all feel as though the love language quiz as well as the sex types quiz is valid tests, and do you think that the responses that you receive are somewhat accurate for you?
So
sorry. You can go first.
No, it's okay. That's right.
I think quizzes like that are subjective.
Mhm.
My personal opinion, but I do think they give you a slight insight into personality. Those are not ocean quizzes, which is like the big five when we think about personality types. And even those are subjective. But I do think that they do give a good insight. And then the thing about those type of tests are that you are supposed to kind of continue to test them once a year, once every 6 months, whatever, to kind of see where you fall in that. As far as that sex type, I don't know what the right questions are, but I don't feel like those questions really give. I took the short version, so I could be biased, and then I don't think that gave a really good in-depth view of like my sexual type, in my opinion. There was a lot of questions where it was like either A, B, C, or all of the above equally. And when I took the quiz, I'm like, I could say I fit in A and B equally, but I don't fit all of these equally. So I had to just kind of pick one. And it didn't feel the most accurate. Now, I do feel like I do fall in the sensual sex type, but I don't feel like it was enough for me to feel like it was the most valid to say that, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely second that. Also, I would like to say that the history of the 5 love languages was created by Gary Chapman, who is a white minister who comes from obviously the nature of the church. Who I'm just gonna say it, he's homophobic, and just a lot of things. So take that into just consideration. I think that the 5 love languages are a good foundation. And I think, just as Sharita said, it is subjective. So you can take and, pull from them. If anybody would like to have another source of information, there's a great short text that is also a workbook. It's called The 18 Modern Languages of Love. That is by Ann Holder Shipp. She's a queer woman. Also a sexologist and therapist. She came out with the nature of the 18 modern languages of love, just to not necessarily combat Gary Chapman, but to expand, horizon, as to say, like, there are more ways in which we express love. Just for instance, there's an example that she goes through there about platonic touch. Like, so when you're with your friends, you may have different kind of dynamics about, there are certain places on your body where you may not feel any type of way that your friends touch you, or, just things like that. So in the nature of her talking about these things, she's just wanting us to kind of expand our horizon in case the way that you express love doesn't fall necessarily into, any of like those 5 categories, just solely. So yeah, I definitely say take things with a grain of salt. Everything is meant to be subjective. So, but also to get different resources. Don't just say like, oh, like this is like the know all be all, and this is the only thing that I've read. Get different sources so that way you can come to a collective kind of mindset about what you think about.
I can relate to that.
And I would say a really great, I know this is kind of off subject, but I would say a really great quiz to take if you just want to know more about yourself and like just relationships in general would be like the attachment styles and just kind of where you fall in that, because there is a correlation between someone who may not like physical touch who also may have insecure attachment. Correlation doesn't necessarily mean that's everyone feels that way, but there is a correlation there. And I think if you want more insight about who you are and how you connect to people, that would be better than something of like a love language, the 5 love languages, in my opinion.
So what I am going to do,
I'll
let you get into that. I will definitely link the attachment style quiz in there. I need to find it from that message that Shirley sent me, because I know she sent it to me because I took it. It was very informative. So definitely recommend taking that. I also link the 18 attachment styles that Tyrell was talking about. By the way, our episode that's releasing in March, we'll be discussing that in a lot more detail too. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe so y'all can go ahead and be there for that conversation. And this is the mind fuck of the podcast, because here we are in July having conversations about on an episode that's releasing in November. And I'm talking about something that's releasing in March of next year. Gotta love this damn podcast.
Come on, look at that.
It's so confusing. I know when I go back and listen to all this shit, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's what we talked about. But so I'll make sure that is included in the show notes. And the piggyback on something that was referred to earlier, and I forgot to mention, that card deck that Sharita was talking about is called Sexpectations. And she sent it to me. That will also be in the show notes. Adrian, what we say?
So, as the uneducated friend, I thought it was good. I felt represented. I can't speak to the validity of it because I only took it once at the last fucking minute. But I believe 4T said he took it twice and he got the same result both times. So I'm willing to accept those results as valid. But I feel that the archetype that it made me or said that I was is accurate. I am a very sexual person, very sex positive, very direct when it comes to the matters of bumping uglies. I don't like to sugarcoat shit. I don't like to play games. Either we fucking or we not. So I felt like it was accurate in that sense. The love language one, I mean, I've done so many of those, but so the fact that it scored me the way I know to be scored, I would say it was also valid and accurate as well. Just from, again, my non-educated point of view, for the layman, if you will. TC said it worked, y'all. So if it worked for Auntie, it's going to work for you. But again, the doctors and the therapists and the teachers of the podcast, they said it ain't shit. So do with that information what you will.
I know. No.
That's what I took.
I will say for myself, I will say that it has a bias to it. Whenever you are expecting a certain result, you'll get that. Now, I will say if you're going into the situation blind and not knowing, because most people hear other people talk about love languages. So you hear this person talk, oh, my love language is physical touch, and you start taking the test, and you feel as though that's your love language, and you're identifying with those things as you go throughout the quiz. You will end up with physical touch being high. But I would say just answer it honestly and not within the influence of other people. Just see if anything is different. In terms of the sex type, I will also say go into that blindly, not even thinking about what your results are going to be. Just be open and honest with that. I will say that they, from Sex, Love, and Goop, they say that it's something that's been tested multiple times and it's valid. But at the same time, I need to see the research so I can look into that to see exactly if it's but that's a different kind of conversation. But I like these because it gives you a starting point for the conversation. It gives you at least something to identify with. But I'll also say you can identify with it, but don't make that your identity.
Yes.
Meaning, exactly, Sharita, I would like to see the sample size too. 5 people. And then they put it out there.
75% people believe.
Exactly. So, 3 people. Like it's important for you to like, okay, I can see myself as being a sensual lover. I can see myself being someone who's all about words of affirmation. I like that. I'm here for that. But at the same time, you don't have to be like, oh, I am a person for affirmations. I am this. I am a sensual. No, you can be, I enjoy sensual sex. I enjoy these things. Rather than attachment to all that you are, just let it be a subset, a portion of who you are, and keep it moving.
Yeah. I didn't keep that in mind sometimes.
Right. And
Jennifer.
just before we close everything out this episode, any quick tips on how someone can become more aware of their inner selves, outside of just the tools like love languages and sex types tests and the attachment styles quiz? Is there any tips that anybody would like to share about identifying who you are or being aware of your inner self?
Yeah, I would say outside of all, there's a million things out there, like different quizzes, personality quizzes, and workbooks. I could give you a million of them if you want them. But I would say outside of that, it's just really sitting with yourself. A lot of people don't allow, like, meditation is talked about a lot, journaling is talked about a lot, but like, if you actually do it, it's talked about because it's helpful, right? Like sitting with yourself, having that alone time where you don't have the distractions of your friends, family, or anyone else, where you can really just sit with your thoughts and ask yourself questions like, why, what do I get out of life? What is the quality of life? What do I want to do? Why am I here? Right? Asking yourself those questions is going to give you that deeper understanding of yourself.
Yes, for real. Yeah. Like that's what it's about, like number one. And that's my life. My whole life is based on like me living independently. You know what I'm saying? Like an introvert, they say, and that teaches me my body, my touch, my spirit, my purpose on earth, my passion. And you know how to incorporate people in your life when you come across people because of that, how to treat them. And it's just real beautiful. I love it. And then dealing with a lot of people, always growing up, not knowing yourself all the way when it comes to promiscuous, or not knowing why you want to do this, or why you know a lot of people, always having different people in your life, always in your space, and then you mature and you learn. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Any other tips that anybody wants to drop for everybody else?
I would say when you're trying to get to know yourself, you really have to go into it like with an open mind. Not only just sit with yourself, but be prepared for what you find. When you enter those dark recesses of your mind, when you go to the spaces that you keep locked away, because for you to function, you can't be over there. Be prepared. Like it's a journey. Like I had to, in losing what I thought was going to be my forever, I learned a lot about myself, that I have value, that I am a good person, regardless of what I do and who I do and how I feel. Like I was too hard on me, and I had to really, with the help of Sharita, surprisingly, I had to learn how to love myself. And that's not an innuendo, guys. She really gave me a book that helped me learn to love myself and ask those tough questions and really get to the root of what makes me. And that journey in and of itself, first of all, if you decide to go on it, I commend you off rip, because everybody doesn't do it. So, some people are cool with whatever perception of themselves they have, and that's it. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to stay. But to be the best you have to be ready to deal with the ugly parts, with the dark parts, with the shit that you just hate, and learn to accept and even love those things, because regardless, for better or worse, they contribute to who you are and how you see and operate in this world. And if you want to excel at that, if you want to do better with that, if you want to change how you're doing that, you've got to accept all of it.
Yes.
Yeah. And just lastly, just to know that relationships and sex are a skill set. It's not something that is going to come just naturally. Yeah, of course we express it that way, but it's something that, as we talked about earlier, you really have to learn, your partner and yourself. And so if you are dealing with insecurities, if you're dealing with the nature of shame, do exercises, go to the mirror, stare at those, those body parts, or, things that, you think about yourself. And, just to channel a little bit of, the Iana Van Zant for a moment, it's one of those things, think about, the story, what are the stories that you tell yourself about yourself, and so in doing that, you actually, because perception is reality. So the things that you think about yourself become reality. It may not be what other people see about you. You could have an insecurity and, you talk to 10 people in the room and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I do not see that. So it's really about the stories that you tell yourself about yourself. And so, and just as you learn how to, those kind of negative connotations, mirror that with positive connotations. You may not like something, but, and just say like, oh, this looks nice, or this feels nice, or, just things like that. So it's an active process. You can't just be passive in trying to get better.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't say go to therapy, but
I'm gonna come.
I thought somebody was gonna say it.
Therapy isn't for everybody, and you shouldn't feel forced to go to therapy. I would say try it. Find a therapist that fits you, right? So if you are a Black queer person, look for Black queer therapists that will understand you, right? And Psychology Today has plenty of them. I'm one of them. So anyway, shameless
okay,
plug.
Vernon Jr.
Look, by this point, I will be one of them when this airs. I will have my information in the show notes if you try to come on, subscribe to the podcast, and then get a motherfucking session with Vernon. Yeah,
I can't be with y'all because I don't fuck both of you.
So what? I did not know Adrian hadn't sent you.
It's called a prediction, baby.
Ooh.
Station is a thing. But yes, it is helpful speaking to a therapist. We didn't work 6 years after, in college and grad school to not have some sort of understanding of that, right? So it is helpful, and it's great to have a conversation with someone who's objective, who knows nothing about, and their whole job is to not judge you on it, right? They will help you process a lot of those things. I have a therapist. I'm a therapist, and I have a therapist. This is really important to continuously work on those things.
It's like massage therapists need a massage therapist. You know what I'm saying?
Doctors need
doctors. Need doctors. We are village,
Fortis. Bless us with your knowledge, brother.
I'll try. So everybody was good. Only thing I would suggest is that look at healing as a multi-layered process to which actually provides a holistic approach to how you see yourself and see other people. What I mean by that is sometimes we don't talk too much about the metaphysical side of life, the soul itself. So my best suggestion would be provide different modalities such as Reiki energy, crystals, or also meditation, because shadow work is a very huge part of life. The shadow side is where I say the light is trapped within darkness. But remember this, stars cannot shine without darkness itself. So always remember that as well. Sometimes when you dive deep within the darkness, you can find something about yourself that you may underestimate yourself about. Also, as far as the psychological part goes, that is very helpful as well too. But once again, make sure you incorporate things that will address the human side and the soul side as well. Now, if you're not a religious person, that's also okay too. Just do things that will balance out both things in general. And also take in context to what you feel is best. Go based on your intuition on what's best for you.
I agree. Look, find ways to identify your triggers, identify what the negative things that are surrounding you, how you can make your environment a lot healthier for you. And also, my main push for this entire year, do your best to avoid toxic positivity, because it's a thing, and a lot of people don't recognize it as being a thing. It's not enough just to say positive vibes only. Sometimes you need to recognize that the positive vibes that you're trying to put yourself into are putting you into delusions.
You got to know when to stop it.
You need to be in reality. You need to understand that, hey, not everything's going to go your way, and that is okay. Sometimes you will fail. Sometimes you may not succeed, but at the end of the day, you can continue to improve after that. You can strive for something better. You can have a new conversation. You can reframe your story however you want to do it. You can rebrand yourself if you need to.
Yeah.
But just make sure that everything that you do in terms of who you are and your identity is something that's rooted in the reality that you're truly in.
Yes.
But with that being said, and we're close to going over time, I'm just going to lead us on out of this episode. So I want to thank every single one of you all for indulging me with this conversation. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And for the audience out there, thank you all so much for listening to the Heauxvember podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. And just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful, you are worthy of happiness and joy, you are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all and see you next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy Podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.heauxliloquy.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.